Welcome back to 5 Talk Street. I'm Christy Nelson. Abilene Christian University has a campus right here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And earlier this week, Deborah Ferguson talked to one of the professors about a course offered in marriage and family therapy with a specialty in therapy for military families. Let's take a look.
And joining me today is Dr. Jamie Goff. She is the Dean of the College of Graduate and Professional Studies at Abilene Christian University, Dallas. Dr. Goff is a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed professional counselor. She was recently elected by the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy to serve as a commissioner for the secondary accreditation of graduate marriage and family therapy programs. And Dr. Goff is here with us to talk about ACU's Master of Marriage and Family Therapy degree with a specialty in therapy for military families. That is a mouthful, Dr. Goff.
Yes, it
but
is.
Basically, you know what you're doing, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
First of all, an ACU opened in Addison, you know, last year, second year in town. How are things going?
Things are going great. We have a wonderful team that we've been able to put together here in Dallas, and the programs that we're offering from our Dallas campus are growing rapidly. So we've been really pleased with our success so far.
Students kind of catching on the fact that there is an ACU in town.
Yes, yes, there's an ACU in town, and you know, of course, a lot of our students are regional, so they're from Texas, even our online students. But being online has allowed us to capture a lot of students from across the country and across the world as well.
Makes it so much easier to get that degree.
It absolutely is.
So we want to specifically today talk about the therapy, the family therapy that happens for military families.
Right.
I guess for it may be obvious as to why this is a specialty, a need for this specialty.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, according to the 2014 Veterans Health Administration report, there have been increases in suicide rates for both male and female veterans, and about 22 veterans die as a result of suicide every day in our country. And so, you know, a lot of that is the result of trauma that they experience, whether in combat missions or because of injuries that they've suffered, and even sexual violence in the military as well. So a lot of veterans who are returning from deployments are dealing with symptoms of PTSD, and PTSD is often accompanied by a substance use disorder as well.
So I kind of want to break this down into two conversations. You know, one, Dr. Goff, I'd like for you to, you know, speak to the military families who may be watching right now. You know, some of the resources maybe they need to be looking at, some therapies they need to be seeking. And then number two, let's speak to those individuals out there who may think, you know what, that's an area of specialty I would like to be involved in. So let's talk first about the resource. How does a family know when services are needed?
Right. So, you know, PTSD, all these problems that I just talked about, PTSD, substance abuse, those affect families as well, not just the veteran. And there's research, for example, that shows that the PTSD of a veteran actually impacts the mental health of his or her partner. And then that trickles down to their family. So when they're dealing with parenting issues, and they often struggle with sexual issues in their relationship, divorce rates are really high and common. Violence is a problem, physical and verbal aggression and violence in those families. And so I think I would just encourage families going through those types of things to seek help sooner rather than later. These problems are so common, and it's very normal for families to experience difficulties in transition. Military families have a completely different life cycle than civilian families because everything revolves around deployment for them. So they have to prepare for deployment. When one is deployed, they have to figure out how they're going to stay in touch with one another and as a family and maintain their relationships. And then during post-deployment, they have to reintegrate with one another as a family. And so, you know, being prepared and talking openly about the issues that they're facing is really important. And the sooner they get help, the better prepared they'll be to deal with some of those issues.
And ACU Addison is trying to offer some of this help through educating students. Tell us about the program now.
Absolutely. So our marriage and family therapy program, we have a specialization in working with military family therapies. And that specialization has specific courses that talk about the different dynamics of military families, talk specifically about working with trauma and addiction, also talk specifically about how therapists can best prepare themselves personally for working with these families.
This is a conversation, Dr. Goff, that can go on for a lot longer, but we're going to wrap that up by just telling people that they can reach out to Abilene Christian University, Addison. That campus is available to you. I'm sure Dr. Goff will be right there if you need assistance too. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you.
So if you're interested in pursuing a career working with veterans and military families, visit acu.edu to get more information. Stay tuned. We will be back with more of 5 Talk Street in a moment.